Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Acer Predator training room video. Today I want to take a look at some replays of games that I've played recently and go through the very early games to see through jungle pathing how you can have a much better early game done from the perspective of a jungler, but also I want to give you some tips that you can translate over to if you are playing a laner. What information can you gain from the early game with junglers to just have a better early game like I was mentioning. So, first things first, in this first replay I want to show you I'm playing Elise. Now, Elise is really not very good at level 2. One of the weaknesses that kind of keeps her out of meta is this fact that at level 2 she's really bad. She has no good CC, she's basically just awful until you reach level 3. So I'm doing a path here that allows me to farm to that level 3. So that's what I'm doing, starting my bot side, getting Elise, blah blah blah. But this is the important part right here with this early game. The whole point I want to break down for the whole theme of this video is right here. We see Skarner right now. We see him on that scuttle crab. So we know he's here. This is our information that we've gained from all of this. Now this is where if you're not a jungler, you still get loads of information from this right here, seeing the enemy jungle, and something you need to drill into your brain when you're playing a laner, because junglers are the bane of your laner's existence. If you're playing a laner, there's probably one thing you hate less, or nothing you hate less than seeing the jungler come up into your lane and ruining your day. We've seen Skarner topside. He's not got his blue buff. He has 12 CS, which means that he's done 2 camps plus this scuttle crab, 4 CS per camp. And so red buff being one of them, the other one is most likely the chicken camp by deduction. So we know that Skarner in this top side, where's he going to go after this right here? Well, he has to go to that bot side. There's nothing else he's going to do. We know he's going to be heading to that bot side pretty soon. So as far as I'm concerned, the Elise, I can do plays based off of that information, but also the bot side of the map needs to be aware of this. That's what they can do something off of that information. Darius as well, from that information, knows that he can play aggressive. So what I'm doing here specifically is I'm going to run up into the top side of the map and try and get something going. So first things first, let's go for this gank in that top side, stun him with the cocoon, go in on him, tank the tower because I've got the repel, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, easy gank. And I know I'm not going to get counter gank there, so I can go really aggressive into that gank because we know Skarner's not top side. However, bot lane at the same time knows that Skarner is going to be around this bot side of the map, so they have to be prepared for Skarner to be showing up. As it turns out, they actually kill Skarner in his gank attempt, which is really nice, but at the same time, I can't help but feel like, you know, you get a bit lucky there. You should have a bit more awareness of that Skarner's going to be around in that area. All's well, or that ends well, of course, but just in general, guys, not to be too, what's the word I'm looking for here? Results based. It's a good idea. You know Skarner's going to be around that bot side. So I get that. I know Skarner's not around this area. He's going to be at his bot side still. He didn't have that blue buff in that gank. He will be at that bot side. So I take his top side Krugs, and then I go for a gank in the mid lane. Now look at my health. I'm actually pretty low here, but I also know the chance of Skarner being around to counter gank this is relatively low because he's probably clearing his jungle camps, and as we see, that's exactly what he's doing. So from this replay, we've learned quite a lot about the information you can gain from seeing where the enemy jungler is, and the pathing that I took specifically in this one gave me his Krugs, which is that extra jungle camp. We got a kill in that top side, and we got double summoners, almost another kill in that mid side, purely because of where we saw from the enemy jungler. And again, from a laner's perspective, you can see where Skarner is going to show up. You know, and also Urgot should have known where I would be as well. You know, there's so much, if you keep your eyes on the minimap, guys, there's so much you can learn from knowing where the enemy jungler is. This example I want to show you here is less about reactive play based on what you see from information of the enemy jungler, and more about just lane matchups and the type of champions that you're playing and your allies are playing. So this right here, I'm playing an Ez jungle, flashback from Season 7. Now we know Ez is a really strong level 2 with that red buff, with those auto attacks coming off of the red buff coming off the autos and the Qs. And I also know that with my lane setups, Twisted Fate with that gold card right from level 1 has a perfect gank setup in this early game. So right from level 1, he also has the exhaust. We're going to get the gold cards. We're going to get the easy peasy first blood like 2 minutes into the game. Easiest first blood of my life. And that all just comes down to the champion that I'm playing, the champion my mid laner is playing as well. So I've adapted my jungle path here, and I've just gone for that red buff, but it doesn't end here because it's the same deal in this top lane too. This Pantheon, again, right from level 2, he's got his stun, he's got his poke as well. I know this is going to be an active lane for me to gank as well, so I do basically the same thing that I was doing in that mid lane, but just go into the top lane and do it here instead. And we pick up another kill in that solo lane too. So mid lane gets a kill, top lane gets a kill. There's cheeky little ward as well, giving us info for Kane, which is always valuable stuff to do. And it's just like easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you're playing a champion that can do this kind of thing, and you know that your allies are playing champions that can set you up as well, this is how you have that early game go more to your advantage. I could have done a more like standard clear here, where I start on my bot side, clear my way top and all that lovely business, but it wouldn't really be taking advantage of this favorable setup that we have in the lanes and in this jungle pick. So the last example I want to show you of all this early game lovely business is with a Vi jungle gameplay. Yes, Vi still exists as a champion. Now Vi is more of a champion that is completely opposite to Ez. At level 2 she really ain't nothing special. In fact, she's pretty crap, honestly. Vi is definitely someone who you can just farm on, and she's alright, you know, at level 3 and beyond. But she's nothing special, and at least the way I like to play Vi, and the way I'd honestly recommend to play Vi, is focusing more on getting that level 6 sort of as fast as possible. Not necessarily power farming for it, but still putting a lot of a heavy focus on that. So I do a really hard farm clear here, where I'm focusing on getting those jungle camps, getting that gold, getting that experience. I am looking here to go for a cheeky little gank in the mid lane, because, you know, I sort of can make, you know, I can sort of do this stuff, but honestly, this is kind of just a waste of time, because I'm Vi, and that's not really a good gank for me to be going for. We skip forward here, again, I try and do something similar in this bot side, which isn't massively going to work. We do get a flash, it's okay, I guess, but, you know, it's not a huge success, you know. But then what do I do after that? Well, I run to my top side. And why do I run to my top side? Because my Krugs are up, and I know with the respawn timers of my bot side jungle, I can do what you're going to see here. Which is probably something you hate if your junglers do it on your team. But just power farm, AFK farm through my jungle. You want to make sure, though, guys, you are keeping your eyes peeled on that minimap. Because even if you are farming, if farming is an optimal strategy that you believe it is to be on your champion, like I'm talking about here with this Vi, you still want to be keeping your eyes peeled and seeing if there are some things for you to do. But generally speaking, guys, you know, this is it. You know, you don't always have to go for those aggressive plays. I didn't once step foot into the enemy jungle here. I didn't really go for any like crazy ganks. I tried to have a little bit of pressure, but nothing insane. And this is it. You know, this is just how I'm. And this is fine as well. You know, it's all about kind of in a similar situation to that Ez game, where you read your champions, you read the enemy champions, like your team's champions, the champion you're playing, and you see what is the optimal strategy here for me in this early game. Do I want to go crazy? Do I want to go for these big plays? Not necessarily. I don't have to. Now I am at that level 6. I can look to be a bit more aggressive, go for some more plays. And here you can see I am starting to fish for some ganks. I am starting to put some vision into the enemy jungle, because I am looking for something now that I've reached that level 6. And boom, Bob's your uncle, Bunny's your nan. My first kill of the game. Second kill of the game. You get the point. Either way, guys, I hope you learned something from this video about reading the early game so that you can have a better early game. If you did like this video, of course, you can throw some of that cheeky love on the video and leave some comments down below about some questions you might have about this kind of stuff and maybe what you want to see in the future. This is a video being made in partnership with Ace Predator. If you don't know what the Ace Predator training room is, it's essentially a hub of content where you can learn kind of more intermediate to expert level stuff, not really entry level things, but a bit more advanced. From loads of different games, CSGO, PUBG, Overwatch, of course, League of Legends. I'm your League of Legends boy, and I highly recommend you go check it out, which I'll put links in the description if you fancy doing so. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic day / evening / afternoon / morning. You guys are awesome. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video.